We're going to be talking about this test of time award. I want to thank the committee for selecting us as one of the test of time winners. This is test of time award. That's what we look like then. That's a test of time. And so it is. So, the paper we're talking about is part one paper, dual packet switching radio channels. The underlying idea is that Fuad and I would like to do performance evaluation, and we did the first mathematical analysis of this CSMA and its variance. The way we're going to do this presentation, we're going to tag team. I'm going to lead the environment in which this work was done. Fuad's going to talk about the paper itself, and I'll talk about some of the underlying principles and future-looking thinking about this kind of thing. So, what's the problem? You all know it's first the asynchronous demands. In there. They don't tell you when they want access, how much they need. Most of the time they want nothing, and when they want it, baby, they want it now. You don't complain if they don't get it. And how do we share resources in this kind of environment? Well, shouldn't surprise you, the best way is to form a queue. Now, a queue is a perfect resource sharing device. It basically serves whatever work is available when that work comes in. It doesn't wait for things that are not yet there. But unfortunately, the stochastics cause congestion, as we all know, the uncertainty in the arrival time, uncertainty in the service times. Well, that's bad enough, but it gets worse. Distributed multi-access, we don't know who's on queue. And so we have to pay a price to figure out who is on queue. And that's what this whole random access issue is about. So let's look at this. What kind of price do we have to pay? Well, if you consider the protocol, let's start with a simple one. Fixed assignment. Give a piece of the channel to each user. It's theirs to use anytime they want, whenever they want. The problem is, some of the time they don't use it, so the price you pay is idle capacity, wasted capacity. Another protocol is dynamic control. Don't pre-assign it. Assign it on demand. I need it, I ask for it, you give it to me, and I use it. The price we pay for that is all this control over it and moving it back and forth. Third way is what we're talking about here. No control. Let's let people have at it with a little bit of understanding. The price we pay, we step on each other. We have collisions. And so you see kind of orthogonal basis here. Three prices to pay, you're going to have to pay somebody to form a queue. Now, in terms of the packet radio environment, we just heard Norm's paper, 1970s. You hear in our paper, 1975, and all the rest of the other papers you're going to hear about today jump into the 90s. So what happened? Why was there like a 2-decade lapse there? Well, in the 70s, we did a lot of the theories surrounding some of these access methods. But what was available then in terms of technology were very heavy, very large, very power-hungry radios. In the 1970s, the technology caught up. Norm's predictions came about. They shrunk. They got small. They got light. And they got less power-hungry. And so we entered the arena of where we are today. Now, Fuad's going to continue with the idea of the paper itself. Thank you, Lynn.
So, what problem were we facing? Random access was there. It was very simple. There is no assignment of channels and no control, access control. It could accommodate a very large population of users over any geographies, and gave the active users very low delay. However, channel utilization in the low-pass scheme was very low, only 80%. You still would want to use it. And with slotted aloha, maybe it was double to 36%, but still leaves room for it. So, can we do something to improve on that? Courtesy can go a long way. In voice aircraft communication, you didn't copy figures somebody else's phone. So that's the first manifestation of like sensing and inhibit transmission. But in the context of radio channels using back switch mode, that was the case in listen to that channel. But when Dave White started considering using the repeater to extend the range of the Aloha system to other islands, that repeater was to receive and transmit from that channel. So it could make sense. And it didn't make sense that it transmits while it's receiving something. This is a single channel being shared by all users. Another point that I should really bring up is that if we became aware of this idea, it's because non-everything shared programs with a very small meeting related to the packet radio contract somewhere, sometime in 1973, that included Opneta. It's interesting I mentioned it because we have Ethernet. Len and I would be other people who not remember. But and Abramson talked to us about carrier sensing the means to improve the channel utilization. We found that very interesting, and we didn't waste any time, so we started looking at it on the main ride back home. Anyway, now we called it CSMA much later in order to make it rhyme with TDMA, FDMA, CDMA, so it gave some simple name, but rhyming with it. But contrary to Aloha, in CSMA, yes, we do say that you don't transmit if the channel is busy, but then what do you do? That gave rise to many different ways of approaching the problem. And without going through description of each of these, but you have our persistent CSMA, persistent CSMA, non-persistent, depending on what you do in order to transmit when it can be blocked. In order to make sense of these things, it was very important to analyze them. So analytics, mathematical modeling came handy, and we were able to derive equations that related throughput to channel traffic as well as but they were more complicated analysis and equation. But what's more important here is to point out that it involved a new parameter here that took into consideration the propagation time of the system. Since sensing some of the addresses transmitted, you will not hear it until it has reached you. And the results were stunning. I mean, from 55% channel utilization with one persistent CSMA, we shot up all the way to 80%. Not leaving much room for further improvement, although we could work on that. And in terms of delay, we also did extremely well. These results are shown here